What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at a bunch of new cards from that there blue-green starter deck, which is going to be coming out in Japan in the not-too-distant future. This is, of course, your starter deck 9. It's one which was revealed a little while ago, but now it is really ramping up to release. It's all based around Imperialdramon, which we will finally get to take a look at today, and there are a bunch of other cards we need to take a little bit of a gander at as well. So why don't we start off with the level 2, because I don't know, that seems like a fairly obvious place to start. We've got a new Minomon. Now it is a level 2, so obviously all we have here is just one inheritable skill, and I should say that our translations here come from the lovely folks over at Ensan Gaming, and what we got from Minomon here is, while you have a blue Digimon in play, this Digimon gains 1000 power. It's fine. Now, interestingly enough, yes, it is a green, just a green, it's not a dual color Digimon, but as we're going to see, there's a couple level 3s I can show you, and both those level 3s can evolve from green or blue. So they really are going for the whole dual colour in these new starter decks, and it actually works really nicely. So yes, it is only a green, not a green-blue, but all the level 3s we've seen so far can evolve from either, so it's one of those don't worry your pretty little head scenarios. And it's fine, but it's not exactly particularly great. Essentially, it's a straight 1000 extra power, which is awesome, but it's forcing you to play a dual colour deck. It is a green Digimon, but you only get the extra power if you've got a blue Digimon in play. If you're not playing any blue Digimon, you don't get the extra 1000 power. And we've seen things like Tanamon from BT1 that gives you the extra power if you evolve this turn, or the other Minomon from BT3 that gives you the extra power if you're attacking one of your opponent's Digimon, but not if you're attacking the stack, which is big. Or Motomon from the starter deck, whereby while this Digimon is level 6 or higher, it gains 1000 power. My point is, we've got ways to gain power, but they're generally quite restricted. You have to meet a really specific requirement. Here, the requirement is far less specific, which is awesome, but you've still got to work for it. It's not an automatic thing. You got to have a blue Digimon in play. So it really is as simple as, if you're playing some blue Digimon and you want to get the extra power, this is a really good option. If either of those things isn't true, it's not. We've then got a level 3 Betamon here, but we don't need to spend too much time talking about it because it is a vanilla Digimon. Like we said a minute ago, despite being a blue Digimon, it can evolve from either blue or green as a 0 cost, which is cool. The thing is, there's no real reason to play it other than the dualness of its evolution, because it's a free cost to play normally, 4000 power. And the 4000 power is fine, but the fact of the matter is, if you're playing vanilla Digimon, a lot of the time, you are looking to play ones at a 2 cost to play normally. And I know that 4000 power can protect you from some stuff, but a lot of the Rookie Rush hate really focuses on 5000 power at the moment, so having 4000 power just isn't gonna save you. So quite frankly, it's really only good for its dual evolutionness. And to be honest, we've got another level 3 that also has that dual evolutionness. It is Veemon, and fine, it's only got 2000 power, but it also has a skill whereby when you play it, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you add a free type Digimon card from among them to your hand, returning the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And now, of course, we need to remind ourselves what free type Digimon are. It's essentially the Imperialdramon line. So, from Veemon up to Imperialdramon, which shouldn't really surprise anyone. This is Veemon. Honestly, I think you maybe could have seen this coming. I don't think that's a particularly rude thing to say. So yeah, that's where we're going. There are some other weird ones around. Granku Wagamon is a free type Digimon, which is kind of cool. Veemon came around in BT2. That's a free type Digimon. There are a few of them hanging around here or there, but generally speaking, we are talking about the Imperialdramon line. Although, to be fair, Bacho Stingmon and its pre-evolutions also count here, so that is another one you probably should be keeping in mind here. So look, if you're playing that kind of deck, this is great. And again, this is one of those Digimon that can be really, really good or really, really not good. If you are playing a deck with free Digimon, this is awesome in that it gives you some extra consistency, lets you get your Digimon out a little bit easier. That is lovely. Otherwise, it's rubbish. We've seen these kind of cards a lot. We know how good they are. In the right kind of deck, they're amazing. Outside of that, they're going to end up being a little disappointing. But if you're playing a deck with free type Digimon, it's dual evolution, and you get to search out your free Digimon. That sounds pretty good to me. Speaking of free Digimon, how about ExVeemon? Now we got a level 4 here, 4 cost to play, normally 2 cost to Digivolve, 4,000 power, all fairly standard, but once again we've got that same deal whereby it can Digivolve from either blue or green, which is really rather lovely. It is, to be blunt, exactly what we're looking for. And we have an inheritable and a non-inheritable skill, which, like I've said a couple times recently, used to be a super weird thing. Now it's really rather regular. When this card would be played from your hand, if you have a green Digimon in play, you reduce the play cost by 1. And this is great, because now you're talking about a level 4 that is a free cost to play normally. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. We do not see many of them at all. We have, however, seen a couple of them in blue. We've seen Seadramon from BT2, which ends up as a free cost to play, 2 cost to Digivolve, 4,000 power, which incidentally makes it exactly the same, assuming you've got a green Digimon in play. We've also seen the Tobiamon from BT4, that's a free cost to play, or a 1 cost to Digivolve. It's hyper weak, but really cheap. And then we got the Gessamon, which is just exactly the same as Seadramon, but with a different name and a different picture. So we got a bunch of options. This is another option. Is it any better than the others? Well, honestly, it might be, because you've got an inheritable skill as well. The others are pretty good and lovely and cheap, but they are vanilla Digimon. This is not a vanilla Digimon, so the question becomes, what is that inheritable skill? Is it worth it? Well, according to Ensan Gaming, when you're attacking, if you have a green Digimon in play, this Digimon gains 1,000 power until the end of the turn. Sweet. Now, this is not quite the same as Minomon here, because it is when you are attacking, you get the 1,000 power until the end of the turn, but then next turn you only get that extra power back if you launch another attack, whereas Minomon is a static on your turn, you have an extra 1,000 power. But once again, we've got a really good Digimon to play, just so long as you're playing a dual color deck. If you ain't playing no green Digimon, it ain't worth it. But if you are, you've got the dual evolution going on, and you're a free cost to play normally, and you've got a nice inheritable skill. This is a legitimately good card, on the proviso you are playing some green Digimon. And something that would absolutely count as a green Digimon is Imperialdramon. This is a dual colour green and blue Digimon, so it counts as both a green and as a blue in one, which is rather lovely. So those skills that say you must have a green Digimon out or you must have a blue Digimon out, etc., this will satisfy either of those because it counts as a green and it counts as a blue. In terms of stats here, we've got a 13 cost to play normally, which I'll be honest with you is really quite high. That is more than we would generally like. 12,000 power is also high, but honestly, with 13 costs, we generally expect 13,000 power, so I'm not necessarily loving it. And 4 cost to Digivolve is actually more than we would expect. 3 cost to Digivolve is the standard for a level 6. So something's going on here, and yes, it is going on. We've got a really good skill. And the skill says that when you Digivolve, you may play 1 blue and 1 green level 4 or lower Digimon from this Digimon's evolution source without paying its cost. And as a side note here, it does not say any play skills will not activate, ergo play skills will activate. So, for argument's sake, if you've gone from the Gabumon from BT1, yes, you will get to play it for free, and yes, you will get to play a card when you do so, which is really rather awesome and ridiculous and lovely. So this is cool, and this is why it's a little bit more expensive to play. 4 cost to Digivolve, that is more than usual. We would generally expect 3 cost. You're playing 1 extra memory. But essentially, you're playing 2 extra Digimon. And in pretty much any circumstance, there's probably some weird exceptions here or there, but in basically any circumstance, if you've got the opportunity to pay 1 memory to play 2 Digimon, you should do that. That's a really good thing. That is going to give you a lovely advantage. So it really is as simple as that. No, it's not got anything else. No, it's not necessarily a stunning card in any other way. But you need to do this, and then you get extra Digimon out, and that's wonderful. Now, of course, there is a similar thing here to what we see with Digiburst, and that is good skill gets rid of your pre-evolutions. So here, even though generally speaking, you want to try and play your pre-evolutions with good inheritable skills to build up to a really impressive level 6, that's not the case here. What you actually potentially want to do, at least for your level 3 and your level 4, less so for your 5s, what you want to do is potentially have really good play skills and then take advantage of them when you Digivolve into it. Either way, although it's expensive, I could see this being a beast. Because Digivolving up, going as fast as you can, and then all of a sudden having 1 Digimon turn into 3, we all know that Digimon is basically take out 5 security and then attack to win. That means you need to do a certain number of attacks, usually 6, but it can change by various things, extra security, attack, blocking, blah, 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 in order to win the game. And this takes 1 attack and turns it into 3 attacks. That is redonkulous, and I love it. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, new cards from that starter deck, and if you're not excited, I'm not entirely sure why you should be. These look fun. But I want to know how excited you are or otherwise, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.